Two episodes of classic Doctor Who, which haven't been seen since the 1960s, have been rediscovered, and they are going to air on BBC iPlayer on the 4th of April. This is very exciting news. Hi, I'm Robert J.E. Simpson, and look, I make no apologies for doing a little video about Doctor Who. Those of you who've been following me for a long time will know that it is one of my pet interests. It's one of my first loves. Look, it ties in with pop culture as well, so this is something I want to talk about. First of all, very excited at the prospect of New Who, especially in this fallow year for the TV show. There's no new episodes happening until Christmas, and we've no idea what's going to happen with that, thanks to the way that the series has been left, but that's by the by. During the 1960s, Doctor Who was recorded onto videotape and then onto film for distribution overseas. And once that film was screened by all the countries, it was junked. And so there was a huge number of episodes which were lost. Attempts were made in the 70s, starting at the end of the 70s, and ran throughout the 80s and 90s, to recover as many of those random episodes as possible. And we had got ourselves down to a figure of 97 episodes missing as of 2013. That's the last time there was a discovery. All stuff starring William Hartnell and Patrick Troughton. This is an interesting discovery because this is for the Dalek Masterplan. It's episodes 1 and 3. We have another few episodes of that serial existing, but it's a 12-parter and we're still missing about just over half of the episodes. But this serial was only ever released in the UK. It didn't sell overseas, and so the chances of any of the film prints surviving for this seemed remarkably remote, but there you have it. It has indeed survived. We now have 2 more episodes, and a Dalek story too, Daleks being the first proper monster in Doctor Who. So this is something that's going to get a lot of attention, and this is great news, and hopefully more episodes will follow. It is known that there are some additional episodes out there. We just don't know quite what the current status is, but the exciting thing about this is this has come as the result of an organisation called Film is Fabulous and the work that they're doing, which is really, really important. And Film is Fabulous basically have been set up in order to catalogue and help preserve the private collections of film that exist all around the country. There are loads of them. But the problem is that film is a very physical and vulnerable media, and the vast majority of the people who collect film are now aging, and their collections are sometimes very vulnerable to the elements, but also the collectors themselves are at a point now where they're passing away, and the collections are being disposed of, often with no regard for what there's actually there. And so we are losing huge amounts of stuff. There is a phenomenal volume of film which no longer exists in any format, or at least that we know of. It doesn't exist in any archive. It doesn't exist with the rights holders. From feature films, down to shorts, down to television stuff. So any discovery at all is potentially exciting. And a brand like Doctor Who, which has such an ongoing legacy and dedicated fan base, is bound to attract attention. But what Film is Fabulous are doing is they're kind of going in with the permissions of the people who have the collections, and they're taking the stuff away to De Montfort University in Leicester, and there they are cataloguing what they have. And often, like, this is the first time that some of this material has ever been catalogued. And what they're trying to do as part of this is you know, to kind of put some guarantees in place for going forward and make arrangements there and to help estates deal with the stuff that they end up with. But where material that is lost has been discovered, they're putting it back into the hands of the rights owners. So in this instance, Doctor Who goes back to the BBC. They've also deposited some stuff with the British Film Institute and their archive. And there's other stuff that's going on that obviously isn't being made public, but this is very, very good. And you know, the problem with collections is, like anyone who collects, we don't advertise everything that we have for various reasons. There is something about it that's quite important, but also I think it's important to acknowledge that with this in particular, sometimes the Doctor Who fan base has been a little bit overzealous. When stuff has been rumoured in the past, or when something has been known about, some fans, not all fans, but some fans, have been very, very bold in the messaging that they've done to people, the harassment that they've given people whenever they think that they're hiding something or hoarding something, and it's not a comfortable place to be. And so some people who have collections just really don't want anyone to know about it at all. In this instance, I should say, this was a case of an elderly gentleman who passed away, who knew the importance of the Doctor Who that he had, knew that it was special, in amongst a lot of other stuff that he had, and once he's passed, like that's now been passed back into the rights owners, and that's brilliant news. Um, Also, what's happening whenever they're disposing of the collections now that they come across, the stuff that doesn't get back to the rights owners, anything else is being put for sale or being guided for sale towards specialist auction houses. I've bought from 2 of the auctions that have happened previously for material for my own collection, which isn't Doctor Who related, I will add. And there's been some interesting things have popped up for that, and I've had my eye on other ones. So it's lovely to see that this stuff is actually getting passed on to other people who have an interest in collecting film, which, as I say, is a very vulnerable media. It's a very cumbersome medium too. It's very heavy. It's large. It's sensitive to climate control, all sorts of complications with it. But yeah, so really, really important, and it's really, really exciting to see this stuff done. I'm hoping that that this discovery is the tip of an iceberg, that it's going to help unleash some more discoveries, but also that it'll help more collectors feel comfortable in sharing the stuff that they have. There is stuff out there that I know of that myself that people would be interested in, but getting near to it is always difficult when a collector doesn't want to share. So look, if you are interested in this stuff, maybe you have a collection yourself and you've been wondering what to do with it, or you've inherited something, or it's on the cards that you might inherit something. Speaking to the likes of Film is Fabulous might be the right thing for you to do. They can give you a lot of advice, a lot of guidance, and also if you've got something that's particularly cumbersome, like in some of these instances, their film collections are thousands of prints, they're able to help with the cataloguing and the future preservation of that stuff as well. So that's really, really exciting, really, really important. I'd be interested to know what you think, folks. Are you excited about the Doctor Who? Are you excited about the work that Film is Fabulous is doing? Or do you have access to a collection of film yourself and don't know what to do with it? Do please feel free to get in touch. And don't forget to like, follow, and share. My name is Robert J. Simpson. I am involved in all kinds of stuff, but also one of the things I do is pop culture and nerd collecting, really. So you'll get more of that, as well as my usual weird and wonderful macabre and interesting places and local history stuff. So yeah, see you again very soon.